hoping this doesn't slide off somewhere. Not quite sure where the best place to put it is. I watch for these cyclists. I used to contract for a company years ago in England, in Cheshire, and the guy's name was Steve Hatch. I haven't seen Steve for a long time, and he used to send us to another guy down in Leek, an old fella called Vic, and Vic did tree work and used to need help down there because he was quite old, and he was a big fella, Vic, kind of looked like a farmer, you know, dressed like one too, and he had these greenish sort of trousers, much like the same colour I have on now. They're like agricultural type trousers. And anyway, I was with another fellow there one day, Stuart, another young guy, because I was young too at the time. Younger, maybe I should say. And anyway, we met Vic at the job site, and we were talking to the customer, and both Stuart and I noticed that Vic had this big piss stain on his trousers there, where his zip is, you know, and we were sort of giggling about it, me and Stuart, because it was funny. Don't know what had happened. He must have put it away before he was finished, or there was a bit left and it must have dribbled out. Anyway, there was this big stain there, and that was a long time ago, and I hadn't thought of it since, realizing that I had the very same stain just a day ago, and then it came back to me. The same colour trousers and everything. I'm not as old as Vic was, but I hope it's not the start of something now. I was able to dry it out, sort of pull my sweater down to get away with it. So yeah, not far from the job now. I'm just going to stop, have a quick cup of coffee. Be rubbish coffee in this place, but I'm going to drink it anyway. It's no better, is it? So the title of the video is Solo Tree Work. I gave up the contract climbing. Well, I'll pretty much give it up a couple of years ago. I still make exception for people who need, you know, who I don't mind, and or the odd interesting job that comes in, and yeah, so I have a dump truck and a chipper and all the gear that I need, and I advertise, obviously, and I have plenty of work on. I use subcontractors a couple of days a week to give me a hand, and the rest of the time I generally work alone, you know. So you know, if people frown about that, some do anyway, but there always seems to be money involved somewhere, you know, and they mask it, you know, behind some moral concern or consideration. But, you know, because they just get excited. You know, authorities get excited because they think perhaps they can fine you and take some money off you. And competitors get excited because, you know, maybe you're gaining some kind of advantage over them, or getting away with something that they're not. You know, perhaps they are not in a position to work that way, or perhaps they're not capable of it. Perhaps they don't have the confidence or the know-how. But whatever, it all comes down to somebody gaining or losing, potentially losing money. If you compare it to recreational pastimes, for example, you know, some of the dangerous things that people go out and do on their own, you know, hiking, climbing, surfing, whatever, it's all solo, and nobody says or does anything about it. They don't bat an eyelid, you know, because there's no money involved. It's not costing anybody, and they're not making any money. So, but anyway, here in BC, as far as I know, as an owner operator, that it's okay. I don't think you can send out an employee to work to take a tree down on their own, but or climb or whatever. But the last time I checked, then I'm pretty much okay as far as the law is concerned. Somebody will probably pipe up and argue, but you'll be arguing with yourself anyway. So yeah, it's not for everybody anyway. You know, rules and regulations aside, you know, there is no margin for error. There can be no lapses in concentration, you know, at any time, because nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's gonna save you. So yeah, you've got to be fully focused, and I'm fine with that. That just doesn't faze me at all. I'm fine with that. Today's job is not far from here. It's nothing huge. We have, I have, should I say, no chipping, by the way. One fir tree to take down. It's not that big. It's about 80 foot, I think. Another one, a couple of arbutus to cut down, on a tall fir to climb and take some deadwood out. And I'll do all right out of it. I'll make pretty good money, and the customer will be happy, and really doing nobody any harm. But no doubt the concept of solo work will upset somebody somewhere. But let me tell you, I'm not alone. There's lots of people who operate same way as I do, and they're quite happy and content. So leave us alone if you're one of these busybodies who can't help but poke their nose in. Victoria, for example, is one of those places, for whatever reason, you know, where people sneak around taking photographs of each other, sending them into the relevant persons or authorities to try and create trouble. Happens in the tree industry too. You're shocked to discover that. I had to take the signs off my car, off my truck. I had magnet signs advertising. I took them off just the other day because I pulled up in a parking lot and I'd backed the chipper onto a bit of grass. Public land, wasn't hurting anybody, didn't hurt the grass, and I came out and from the store I've been in, and somebody's there taking pictures of my chipper on the grass, trying to somehow create trouble, I suppose. Still haven't heard anything, but that's where I live, sadly. But there's good people too here. But there's another trend though, of sneaking about, telling tales. So that's the setup for the so removing the fur, as I'm gonna use it, 2 flip lines. One I'll have to the side D and the other I'll have to the center D. So they advance easy together, but when you start cutting, they're separated, and there's not too much clutter on the side Ds then. Some people use prefer to use the side Ds exclusively with when using two flip lines, but I like to separate them on certain jobs, especially on a tree that's only a couple of feet across like the fir over there. The spurs, the saddle and the climb line I'm gonna just leave on my back. It won't come out unless I have to bail out the tree rapidly, and so it's all set up there ready to choke and rappel if I need to, but hopefully it'll just stay redundant. It's a bit of extra weight to carry on your back, but I can't afford to trail the line because as I'm working on my own, obviously, if it gets trapped under a falling branch, there's nobody to free it. The homeowner is inside, but she's got better things to do than to be freeing my line as and when. So and the 200T is 16-inch bar, which should be enough to take the entire tree down with a bar that size, and this saw having plenty of guts that it does, so I shouldn't need to switch saws before I reach the ground. see how I've double wrapped the lanyard there, gone around, so that just gives me a bit of extra stability, a bit of friction there. If it just went straight around and back, I'd be slipping kind of side to side a lot more, because this climb line isn't giving me a huge amount of support, and this is a leaning stem and it's skinny too, so the line doesn't have a lot of purchase. It would be easy to swivel around and fall. .144 now. I have one tree to go, which is the big tall fir. So I'll set 2 lines up. Well, I'll set the SRT ascent line as high as I can get it, probably about 80 foot, a bit more. And then I'll take an extra line with me to go past the first line and continue up using the doubled line technique, and then I'll tie into the top and cut out those big dead branches that are up there. I don't think there's anything I have to be particularly mindful of on the ground, so yeah, we're on track for an early finish with extra trees I was able to do as well, thrown in. So bigger tree than I thought, as usual. Look at the view out there, isn't that beautiful? How much you can see. Yeah, it'd be nice to just underestimate just one job a month. Sorry, overestimate one job a month. I always underestimate the size of trees. But anyway, there's probably 20 minutes work now, just these big dead pieces you can see. A couple above my head and a few on the way down. So I'm done. I got paid pretty good, and that guy's happy. I'm still in one piece. Didn't hurt myself, didn't need to be rescued or have to rescue myself. So now I've got to call a load of people back that have left messages, which is just what I don't feel like doing right now, but that's now I don't subcontract. This is the new lifestyle, or it has been for the last couple of years. So yeah, that's all I've got to say really. You'll notice I didn't use any coarse or foul language throughout, because a few of my customers and potential customers have been watching the videos, and so I just have to watch what I say. I can't be so loose anymore, trying not to use the C word. And oh well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you like. Share your own experiences with working alone, if it's what you do, or if you don't do it. Tell me what you think about it if you watch this on YouTube, that is. Alright, cheers. I just checked, there's no urine stains either, so looks like I haven't got a problem. It must have been a one-off. Cheers.